What up, YouTube? It's been forever. It feels like I'm so excited to be back. The concert was totally awesome. I had such a great time. It was cool hanging out with my daughter, and then Post Malone and his opening acts were just, it was awesome. It was just a fun time. I am a little beat, having to drive, down to Denver, and then making stops and shopping, and you kind of start to feel your age. I remember when I used to be able to do all that and party all night and get up the next day and just feel great and drive home, and now it takes me like 2 days to recoup, and I wasn't even hungover or anything. I didn't even party. So it's just crazy how that works. Today I'm bringing a video on self-sabotaging. I personally have done this a lot in my life. I know we all have. I think it's important that we focus on it. We see the things that we do inside ourselves to self-sabotage, like our relationships or our jobs, or anything that we do in life that we're wanting to meet a goal or wanting something, but we don't think that we're good enough, or whatever our mindset is. So I think this would be a really good video to give a little bit of information that I researched, and then also share some of my personal experiences or whatever, and just hope that you guys enjoy it. Well, I'm going to get started. I'm actually going to move the camera over here, just because I got some really cool new things, and probably better to look at than me. So here we go. I did get a new love sign. I love it. And then I got my fountain going. And I guess that's it. Besides, I can get these out of there. Okay, so what is self-sabotage? It is when we create problems in daily life that interferes with long-standing goals. So anything that hinders us from meeting our goals, or meeting our goals. The most common self-sabotaging behavior includes procrastination, self-medication with drugs or alcohol, and that's also with gambling, with sex, with overeating, shopping, that type of stuff too. Comfort eating, and forms of self-injury such as cutting. People typically don't even realize they're sabotaging themselves, and connecting a behavior to self-defeating consequences is no guarantee that a person will disengage from it. It is possible to overcome almost any kind of self-sabotage. And that takes a lot of work. I mean, that takes a lot of really focusing, really making yourself aware how you self-sabotage yourself. Coming up with maybe a ritual to help you work through it, to make sure that you do see it when you're doing it. And then also, to retrain our brain to stop acting this way, is how I say it. Behavioral therapies can aid in helping these patterns of thoughts and actions. Motivational therapy can also help reconnect people with their goals and their values. Why do people self-sabotage? There are many reasons why. People can spend much of their lives struggling with addictions, but the forces that lead to self-sabotage can be dysfunctional and or disordered beliefs that lead people to underestimate their capabilities, suppress their feelings, or lash out at those around them. Here are 5 ways to stop sabotaging yourself. Number 1 is dwelling on if only. Number 2, being afraid of your thoughts. Number 3, burying your feelings. Number 4 is when say we have a project, or we're doing a work project and it's due, say next week, we know we have all this time. When we sit there and we go to start it and we're like, I don't feel like doing this, so I'll do it tomorrow. Or like if your garage needs to be cleaned out and you're like, well, I have 3 more days, so I'll do it tomorrow. That's what I mean by that. Stop saving everything as I do. Tomorrow. I went over all that. And then number 5, letting yourself like letting yourself harm yourself instead of help yourself is what I was trying to think how I was going to say that. Really pay attention to that, to how you treat yourself, how you view yourself, how you reward yourself for all the good stuff you do, instead of, always looking at the negative and how you're hurting yourself with all your negative thoughts and feelings and so on. It turns out that there are many reasons why we self-sabotage. Here are some ways we self-sabotage and might not even realize it. Jumping ship when a relationship starts to get serious. You procrastinate on important tasks. You attempt to mask your emotions with excessive addictions. You have imposter syndrome. How do we stop doing this? What are ways that we can help ourselves to stop, self-sabotaging ourselves? Remember, while relationships may have similar patterns, no two are exactly the same. So realizing that, okay, this is the way my relationship used to be with Jill, but now I'm dating Jane, but I automatically am already self-sabotaging it because I'm already thinking she's exactly like Jill was. And we need to, they might have, relationships that you're in might have the same, like, there might be things that are similar to your old relationship, but it doesn't mean that all of it is. And so we need to stop fearing that, because what we're doing is we're sabotaging that relationship before it begins. We automatically think it's going to be the last one, and that's exactly what the universe is going to give you then. I mean, that's exactly what you're calling in, and that's what the universe is going to give you. Communicate openly and honestly. Express your feelings and fears. If you feel yourself picking fights or pushing your partner away, be willing to take a step back and examine the root of the cause, and then take responsibility, apologize, and explain the problem. So it's huge, and this is huge in everything that we do in life. When we know we're doing something wrong, instead of, letting our ego, hold us back, we need to, step up and say, hey, I'm sorry. I'm just really struggling. What's making me do this is because, my old relationship, even if you have to do that, just whatever it is that is causing you to do this, just be honest and be, this could be in friendships, this could be in love, this could be in a job, this could be with your, your parents, your, anyone in your family, and even with yourself. So just, egos will tell us, well, I'm not going to apologize. No way. Well, then, you know what? Your ego is going to win, and you're going to lose, because you're going to lose that person, and you're going to lose out on having the communication and having ways to help you stop feeling that way, and to build that relationship or job up to where you're not feeling that way, and then plus, to whatever status you want to be in that, in that area. If you feel yourself, I did all that. Okay, take a good look into your psyche. What you really put off or avoid. Take responsibility for your financial independence. Visualize a great result, but allow yourself to make mistakes, as no one is perfect. And that's a huge thing that we need to realize, is that none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. We're not meant to be perfect. I know people strive to be perfect, but you're never going to meet that goal. You might as well set a realistic goal to meet, and then, you can obtain it, because being perfect, none of us are ever going to be, no matter what people think. Realize feelings are not your enemy, as feelings are healthy, but running away from them are not healthy. And that's a huge thing. By altering your state of mind to purposely not think about your problems and the emotional toll they take on you, you're setting yourself up for a breakdown. Because all emotions, no matter who you are, I don't care who you are, will eventually come out. They'll come out, maybe not for 10 years, but when they come out, it's going to be like a freaking bomb hit. It's just going to be this wave of emotions. And by holding all those emotions inside too, that's like carrying all these burdens on you and all this shit just weighing you down. So, you become, your energy gets low, your vibration gets low. You start to become crabby, you're snapping at people, you're being an asshole to your wife, or you're being a bitch to your husband, or whatever it is. Why not just, everybody has emotions, everybody why let the ego stop you from that also? You know what, to me, it takes a bigger person to open up about their feelings, even if they hurt another person, than it does for a person not to ever tell somebody how they feel. Or if you love somebody, by God, fucking tell them. I mean, what do you have to lose? You're afraid of rejection? Well, we're all afraid of rejection. So, you know, I've been rejected many a times, and as much as it hurts, I would rather have told that person than not have told them and never have known if, you know, something could have happened. Or I got rejected from a job. Well, I would have never known if I wouldn't have, you know, strived to go get it anyways, because then, you know what, that's not the right job, or that's not the right person. So then you go, you know, you start again, and then you kind of, you'll find somebody else that you like again, or somebody will come to you, and you'll find a different job that will, you know, fit your needs and what you're looking for. Always. There's always another solution. There's always another thing that's going to come into our life. If something doesn't go right, if something doesn't connect, if something doesn't fall into place, or if your relationship doesn't last and you don't get married, it's because the universe, it wasn't right. That wasn't the person you were supposed to be with. That wasn't the job you were supposed to work. That wasn't the, you know, whatever it is. That's not what was meant for you. And that's what we all struggle, because we all don't like to feel pain. We don't want our hearts broke. We don't, you know, we feel like we have to be with the same person forever and ever. Well, you know what? When it's time for you to be with somebody forever and ever, you'll know it. And because that person won't leave you. That person won't reject you. That person won't, or, you know, if that's the right job for you, you'll get the job. You know, your interview will go smoothly. They'll love you. You'll get the job. You'll start in 2 weeks or whatever. So we need to realize that. Where is I at? Instead of masking the problems, allow yourself, I just went over that, to experience emotions, even the negative, hurtful ones. Start being your own cheerleader. What I mean by that is grab a pen and paper, write down your accomplishments, even the small ones. You know, we all deserve a pat on our back. We all don't realize what we do accomplish each and every day. You know, shit, getting out of bed is an accomplishment. You know, going to work every day. You know, making dinner, anything is an accomplishment that we should be proud of, because we did it. We got up, even though it's a routine. Well, fuck routine. You know, it's everyday life that we have to do, and we have to live, and, you know, that we strive to do every day for our families, for ourselves, or, you know, for fucking, I don't know, anything. So, start fighting the negative voice in your head to prove yourself to be capable of doing a good job. Take time to break negative thought patterns. Our thought process comes from us, those around us. So we just need to be aware of the people we are allowing around us. If we are constantly around people that are fucking negative and just boo-hoo, poor me, oh my God, nothing's going right, you know, after so long, all that shit, all that negative, you know, sucks all your positive out. And that's the way you're going to be, you know, you're going to be walking around like, oh my gosh, you know, shit, somebody hit my car, and I swear nothing goes right for me, and on and on and on. Well, you know what? That's karma. I mean, you know, we all build that karma. And some people have more karma than some, and, you know, or sometimes it's just a fucking accident. You know, not everything that happens to us has to be karma, or it has to be, you know, it's just an accident. Shit happens. That's the way we need to look at it. Let's see here. We can retrain our brains. No matter what anybody says. Yes, we are taught the same shit, you know, as kids. We're taught from baby. We learn every single day. We learn until the day we die. We learn something new. And some people, like me, I love to learn. I want to know everything about everything. I mean, I just do. And people are like, oh, she thinks she's a know-it-all. Well, fuck you. I like to learn. So if you don't like it, oh well, I don't care. And maybe I do know it all. How do you know? I mean, people, it's crazy, you know. Why not? Why wouldn't they want to go learn something new? You know, learning doesn't just stop when we're done with college or high school or whatever. We continuously learn, and you should want to learn. I don't understand that. So, self-sabotage is procrastination, impulsive actions, arguing, avoiding conflict, breaking a diet, giving up on our goals, being obsessive about the goals that we set, not speaking up, talking too much, and over dieting. So those are just examples of ways that we can sabotage things. I read this quote the other day, and this is kind of I'm kind of like studying self-sabotage because I do that. I from early childhood, my parents were like, "You're not gonna amount to shit. You're just gonna be a loser, and you're not pretty. You're ugly, and you're fat." They just like beat me down constantly. So that just that's what my brain learned, and it constantly was told that, and that's constantly what I thought, and so when I started going through my awakening and my journey, I was like, I've learned so much that I want to learn more because it's helping me with all the issues that I have in my life, and it's helping me look at things differently and not think it's the end of the world if your boyfriend leaves you or your husband or something. I mean, it hurts like hell. Fuck, man, it's awful. I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. But the thing is what we do survive. And you know what? We prolong the pain and suffering because we won't, look at it. We won't address it. We won't face it. We drink our sorrows away and we do whatever we do. And it's like, why? So you could be that miserable that much longer? That's what we do. And that's what I've learned. And I did that for fucking like 5 years of my life. I lost 5 years of my life because I'm so brokenhearted and all this bullshit. And then turns out that none of it even happened. And I was lied to and scammed and all this other crap. And here I am dying of a broken heart thinking that my husband was dead and shit. And he's living a whole new life and happy could be with money. And I'm like, what the fuck? So that also kind of woke me up too. Well, anyways, this quote says, without realizing it, we make inner choices to feel deprived or refused or helpless, criticized, rejected, betrayed, or abandoned. Doing this defies common sense, but our unconsciousness mind operates or irrational, not rational principles. So I hope that made sense, but I thought it was really cool. Okay, so here. The underlying cause of self-sabotage is a psychological attachment. So we need to learn what the attachment is and retrain ourselves to not get stuck in these thought processes, not get stuck in these ideas in our thoughts of ways that everything's going to turn out for us. Instead of thinking, instead of manifesting like, man, I can't wait to start my new job. I just know I got it. Well, even if you didn't get it, but you're thinking positive, and that will bring in something even better for you. If we stop, looking at everything so negative and like, man, I didn't get that, so I'm not, I suck. I must not be able to do my job right, or I'm not good enough, and just all the shit that we constantly are putting in our minds and putting out into the world is what is making this world so, negative, and what's making relationships so hard, and jobs, and just every fucking thing that we do in life is what, it's us. It starts within us. We want to blame everybody else around us, but it starts within us. And so we're the ones that have to make the changes. We're the ones that have to stop our thought process of having all this bullshit in our head. I recommend you do some research of your own on like specific ways that you self-sabotage, because I have like really started, putting the things that I found out that what I do to self-sabotage myself, to put myself down and to do all the stuff that really we're not supposed to do. And we all do it. So, I'm just not afraid to admit it. I've had like years and years of self-sabotaging myself, not thinking I was good enough. And you know what? I'm good enough for anything. I'm good enough for anyone. And I'm good enough for anything I put my mind to. And I'm tired of feeling like I'm not. And I'm tired of having that thought process. And I'm tired of feeling like people are judging me, and I don't give a fuck. I'm finally to that. I just don't care. I just want to be happy. I want to live in peace. I want love and happiness for the world. I want world peace. I want, people to stop being so fucking unkind and be, do kind things for people and stop being so goddamn greedy. A good thing I read on my, one of my really good friends' Facebook, and I won't mention his name, but he says, it just shows how selfish and greedy people are. This toilet paper thing, I didn't even know what people, I went into the Family Dollar the other day, And I bought, whatever I bought. And the gal at the checkout's like, what, you're not buying toilet paper? And I thought, well, what is it to you if I buy toilet paper? I go, well, no, why? And she goes, well, where have you been? And I go, probably home, working. And this, I don't really communicate with the world all that much. I'm busy doing my, my stuff. And when I do, I do. And if I don't, I don't. I don't really care. But she was like, well, there's a shortage on toilet paper and so on and so on. And so I was like, oh, well, shit, I better go buy some. So I did. And I got 2 packs, little, 4 packs or whatever. And she goes, are you sure that's all you want? And I'm like, well, yeah, this will be fine. If I run out, there's always Kleenex or there's always paper towels or whatever. I'm not going to sit and stress about it. Well, people, you had people going in there and buying like as much as they could. For one thing, come on. How long is that going to last? It's not going to last that long. We're not in the fucking, back in the day when, it's common sense. But also, how selfish of people to not think about somebody else that needs to buy it for their kids or for themselves, or like my friend said, like an 86-year-old man going in there and there's no toilet paper for this man. He can't drive all over town looking for it. We need to stop being so self-centered and so selfish and greedy about every fucking thing in life. It's honestly annoying, and it's honestly pissing me off. I'm like, you know what? So what? You run out of toilet paper. It's not the end of the fucking world. Go use a goddamn leaf if you have to. You know what I'm saying? This is real life. This is real problems. But there is how many of us living on this, planet? How many on this, in this country, on this state, each state? Why are people going and buying all the toilet paper out? You have no common courtesy for anyone else. You have no thoughts of kindness. That's greedy. And that's like the worst thing in the universe's eyes is greed. And that's what, by you doing that, what's your karma going to be is what I'm trying to say. It's not going to be very good. Also, this is a very, very scary thing that we're going through. Please wash your hands. I went to the bathroom when we were at that concert, and people were going to the restroom, and every one of them, I swear to God, walked out without washing their hands. And it's like, this is how that shit spreads. This is how people do spread it and get sick. What is it to take 5 minutes out to wash your hands? I don't understand that at all. And then, as far as what I had heard, there's like 3,000 and some people that died. And, I pray for each and every one of them. I hope, rest in peace for every one of them. And I'm praying for all the people that are sick with it, are fighting to stay alive and all that. But this is something that will come and go. And yes, it will still linger on. Like the last, disease and stuff. And I'm not saying it's not important, because it's very important. It's very scary. It's, it could wipe out a lot more people, definitely. But I posted on my Facebook, there was 800,000 people who committed suicide last year. 800,000 people. One person every 40 seconds was committing suicide. And, suicide is talked about, but it's not, it's not talked about like this. It's not being, we're not trying to get down to the really root of the problem of why people are committing suicide. A lot of it is mental illness. And, people are like, whatever, they're selfish. I hate that. I've experienced, extreme heartache from losing people from suicide. My daughter's dad committed suicide. He was my best friend in the whole world. And, I still, every day, I could cry right now. It is just like a feeling that unless you go through it, and I'm not saying it's any worse than anybody else's death and stuff like that, but it's just, it leaves you just, you almost not, like, part of you dies with them is what it is, because you do have guilt, and you do have, the what if, and why didn't I do this, and no matter what, you can go through all the therapy and all the counseling in the world, and you're still like that, so. But the thing is why isn't it that people aren't freaking out about that? Why isn't it that people don't know that many people committed suicide last year and that, the year before, and each year it's growing. It's increasing each year. And yes, we do have, suicide prevention, but it's still not, we're not coming together as a country, to figure out how to stop this. Because this wasn't, I mean, people did commit suicide for many, for how many ever years and whatever, but it's not like it is now. And, I sit and I tell people to please be kind and, do something nice for your neighbor, spread the love. And people are like, whatever, I'm not, why should I do it? They're not doing it. Well, this is the reason why. Is because people are not being kind. People are not being, caring, and not, their neighbor hasn't been out of their house for a month, but they don't care. They're like, well, whatever, it's not my problem. Well, yeah, they're in their dead, or, or whatever. It's, we need to come together as human beings, as decent human beings, as loving, kind, positive people, and get rid of all the negative, get rid of all the darkness, get rid of all the shitty ways that we're living and that we're teaching our children to be, and so on. Because when 800,000 people commit suicide in a year, and that is, throughout the country or whatever, that's still unthinkable. And we're right now, and like I said, with what's going on, there's nothing, I mean, anyone's life is as important as anyone else's, no matter what the circumstances are. But we're freaking out over 3,000, but we had 800,000 people die, but no one knows that. That's my point, is that we need to really, really address this serious problem. So I just wanted to make that, part of my video also. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope I didn't offend anyone, but this is my opinion and I have every right to it. And I'm pretty, when it comes to suicide, I'm pretty much stubborn, and I want to definitely do anything I can to help even one person. If it's one less person next year, then you know what? We did make a difference. I mean, no matter what, it's that one person. But it sure would be nice if, we could all stop being so, self-centered and just, focused on ourselves, and come together, in our communities, come together statewide, come together in our towns or cities and whatever, and, really start working together to make this a better life, make it a better world for us to live in. People are like, well, whatever, I don't have time. Well, you know what? Yeah, you do. That's bullshit. You can give up a weekend at the lake, or you can give up a weekend, sitting at the bar watching football. I mean, it's really important. And it's important if you, like me, I'm raising a teenager, and to watch and listen to the shit that they talk about, and them not having any type of I mean, you can't even get them off their phone to go clean their room, which, back in my day, we knew better. Our rooms were always kept clean, and our parents never had to ask us, because if they did, we'd get our asses whipped. I mean, pretty much. I mean, that's what it came down to. They don't go outside and play. They don't go run around the block. You don't see any kids outside. I mean, it's sad. This world has really, really turned into something that wasn't meant to be. So it's up to us to change it. So please, please, please do something kind for somebody today. If you know somebody's struggling with mental illness, or if you're depressed, or you just need somebody to talk to, you can even talk to me. I'll be more than happy to talk. I'll be more than happy to be your friend. I'll be more than happy to do anything I can to help, because I'm always here for anyone. And I want everybody to know that I love you all. I might not know you, but I still love you. So, make suicide, please, please, spread the word of suicide prevention. Maybe volunteer for a program in your community. If there's not one there, please start one. It's a huge, huge issue. And then for what's going on now, please, 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 people, wash your hands. Carry hand sanitizer. Keep yourself clean. Keep your hands away from your face. Stuff like that. Just use precaution, because this is really serious too. So, and just, spread your love. Try and refocus on being positive instead of negative. Okay, that's it. I'll be quiet. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Saturday. If you're out and about tonight, drink, or is it Saturday? It is Saturday, right? Yeah. Out drinking and driving. Jeez. Or not drinking and driving. If you're out drinking, please don't drive, is what I meant, not drinking and driving. If you live in my town, call me. I'll come give you a ride home from the bar, no problem. I'll be more than happy to. And I guess that's it. Much love, many kisses, and always peace.